go to the Dairy Max Built by Chocolate Milk Hotline and bring in the head coach of the Mission Eagles down there in beautiful Rio Grande Valley. We're pleased to be joined by Coach Koy Detmer. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing good. How's everything going?
Oh, things are great up here. How are things in beautiful Mission, Texas?
Going good down here. Weather's nice and warm, so we're all right.
Well, I want to ask you specifically, first and foremost about your big win, last Friday night. You guys go on the road to McAllen Row and get a 38-7 win to, most importantly, improve to 3-2 in district. From your perspective, how huge was that win for you guys chasing a playoff spot?
It was a big win for us. We're kind of in one of those districts. It's very competitive, and every win is a big one. And we were coming off of a tough loss that we had to PSJA North, who's a quality team, good team. And so this past week was really good to get back on the winning ways and improving our district record. It gives us a chance to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, certainly. You guys are now right in the hunt. One of three teams at 3-2 in that district, in District 36A. Did you kind of put into your team a sense of urgency about that game, or did you try to keep things pretty steady as she goes?
Yeah, no, we try to keep things steady as much as possible in a 1 week at a time and all those kind of things. But it is that point in the season where, we talked about a sense of urgency and our focus and things like that. And the kids responded really well. And, they've had a really good year. We've had a good year this year. And like I said, we just wanted to make sure that, keep their focus, stay on track and go through the process. And, I was proud of the way the guys did. We had a good week and then finished it off with a good win.
Yeah, and I'm always interested in hearing what coaches think about that, because on one hand, you want to keep that consistency and you want to make sure that each week is as similar to the last week as possible. But at the same time, your kids are, they have access to the standings. They know what's up. So how honest are you with your team about your playoff chances and how important each game is?
Yeah, no, they know. And like I said, our district, and it's been this way for a while, this district is very competitive and always comes down to the last three games. And that's something that we talk about early in this season, is that we know, our most meaningful games, and it's going to come down to it. And our last three games is what we prepare for, and to make sure that we're right down the stretch. And, we were able to get this one. We got two more tough ones coming up, and hopefully we can go get things done there. But, we're in that 1 week at a time mentality. And so, the kids have responded well to that.
We're talking with Koy Detmer, the head coach of the Mission Eagles here on Texas Football Today. Get involved with the conversation, #TF Today. Coach, one of the more remarkable things about your squad is that you guys, there's not a whole lot of 6A programs that are rolling with a freshman quarterback. But you guys are. Jeremy Duran is stepping up for you guys and had a terrific game last week against Rowe, 10 of 14, 186 yards and a touchdown, and most importantly, 0 interceptions. You're a quarterback guy. You're a former quarterback yourself. From your perspective, what are you seeing from your freshman signal caller?
No, he's doing really good. And we were fortunate to have a few very good quarterbacks on our roster this year. And our starter had been knocking it out and was playing really well. And unfortunately, he was knocked out with a collarbone injury. And Jeremy has stepped in, and, we've not missed a beat, and he's, for a freshman coming in and doing that, like you're saying, it's rare. But he's processes a game very well, and he's an accurate passer, a very good decision maker. He sees the field really well, so his decision making, and in our system, in our offense, he's executing, and so he's doing a great job of that. And obviously the guys around us around him, they're making plays and doing those things, and everybody else has kind of picked up their game, which has to happen when those, you start getting injuries.
Yeah, and one of the guys who I know that you were really excited about coming into the year, and boy, it sure seems like he's living up to the hype, is your outstanding wide receiver, Sebastian Gonzalez, your leading receiver, 5 touchdowns on the year, 28 catches for 448 yards. For those who may not have been able to see this young man play, what can you tell us that sets him apart?
He's explosive, man. He's got good speed. He's a super shifty kid, great work ethic, and he'll make plays down the field. He catches the ball underneath, makes people miss. And so he's a lot of fun to watch. When he gets the ball in his hands, anything can happen. And he's also one of our big return guys and things like that. And he's an outstanding offensive weapon for us. And he's stepped up and been that guy for us. And, he's been great.
We're talking with Koy Detmer of the Mission Eagles here. Coach, the other side of the ball, you guys have seen a lot of improvement. Last year, 4-6, giving up about 28 points per game. Sure seems like your defense has taken a big step forward. What's the difference defensively this year, maybe as opposed to last year?
Yeah, I think our defense is playing awesome this year. They've been great. And one of the things, obviously, another year in the system, but a big deal is, we've been playing a lot of young guys. And so there's some maturity there, some good players that now they're juniors or seniors. And when they were playing, young in the past, and then we put a lot of speed on our defense. And so there's a couple of guys that we moved around. And so our team speed defensively is much different than it was the past couple years. And so that's been a big deal for us this year.
You're in your 3rd year down there at Mission. You guys have improved every year, from 3 wins in your first year, 4 wins last year, 6 and counting right now this year. How have you seen this program, which does have a lot of tradition, but how have you seen this program change even in your short time there?
Well, I'll tell you, the kids have been really good, and they've bought into the things that we're teaching, from off-season standpoint with the weights and the training and the development phase to all the mental aspects, which involves your schemes offensively and defensively. And so the kids have really grabbed onto that. And really it's coming from them and their dedication. We're giving them the information, but the way that they're responding and the way they work at it, we've seen big strides each year in these guys. And so that's been a big deal, is just the kids have really bought into the process and things that we're throwing at them, and so that's been a big deal for us.
You guys are coming off a big win over McAllen Rowe last week, but no rest for you guys. You guys are going and taking on the the district front runner right now in PSJA. Going on the road to take on that squad. I'm not going to ask you to give away your game plan or anything, but but when you look across the field at what you guys are up against this week, what are you seeing?
No, they're a really good team. Of course, they do a great job throwing the ball. Lupe Rodriguez does a great job over there with their group, and they throw the ball all over the place. They got some good little crew of receivers, a great quarterback, probably one of the top quarterbacks. He's a senior in the area down here. And so they do a great job offensively. They score points. Defensively, they're good. I mean, they got a really good front, good secondary. I mean, they're just a good football team. There's a reason why they're undefeated in district right now and having a great season is they're a good all-around football team. And so we got our work cut out for us, definitely, both sides of the ball. And so, we've got to you can't make mistakes. We got to limit the mistakes and, try to go get after it and execute a game plan.
You guys are right in the hunt for a playoff spot there in District 36A. It's been since 2012 since Mission has made the playoffs. A 5-year drought for a program that obviously has a ton of history. Do you get the sense that your kids can grasp the enormity of it and grasp the idea that we could go and break this, get off the schneid here for the Eagles program?
I don't think right now they're thinking in those terms. I think they're hungry, and they've put a lot of hard work into it over these past couple years, and they're ready. I mean, they're hungry for it, and so I don't think they're thinking in terms of how long it's been or or those kind of things. It's just they've been on the grind, and so they're in it and focused that way, and they want to see that come to fruition. And so I think really that's where their mindset is now. Now, if we're able to go out there and hopefully we're able to go out and make that happen and get into the playoffs, looking back at the end of the year when the season's over, I think they'll have something to look at there that's, very rewarding. But right now, they're just in it, to go get it done.
And finally, finally one more question for Koy Detmer, head coach at Mission. Coach, I'm looking at a box score here from A&M Kingsville. They get a 37-34 win over Western New Mexico, and boy, their quarterback sure seemed like he had a nice game. 20 of 34, 249 yards, and 3 touchdowns for Koy Detmer Jr. Interested in he's had a bit of a roundabout career. He walked on at BYU, transferred there to A&M Kingsville, now leading that Javelinas offense. I'm real interested in your thoughts on what Junior's doing right now.
Yeah, no, I'm really proud of him. He's done a good job, and he's a good football player and all that. And so he was at BYU and wanted to take a shot there at Division I and all that, and didn't look like it was working out. And so had a great opportunity to come down to Kingsville and with Coach Wilkinson, and he's really having a lot of fun there. He's played well. He's done a lot of good things. They've struggled a little bit. They've had a lot of injuries and things like that, but he's having a blast playing ball, and he's having fun with it. I'm excited to see him get a chance to play. Obviously, I'm his dad and things like that, and I felt like he was a good player in high school and had ability to go play somewhere in college at some level. And so I'm excited that he's gotten an opportunity to get a chance to play and see him do that.
It's great to see him get an opportunity, and the Mission Eagles have an opportunity to go on the road and get a big win this week if they can go on the road and take down PSJA with their coach, Koy Detmer. Coach, appreciate your time. Congratulations again on the big win last week, and best of luck this weekend down the road.
Okay, thanks a lot for having me.
There he goes, Koy Detmer, the head coach, the Mission Eagles. Former Eagle himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Always a good homecoming.
Yeah. But yeah, he's and he's that's obviously a quarterback family. Mm-hmm. And I remember when, because he coached, I think he was the OC for his dad at Somerset before he went down to Mission. And yeah, he was coaching. That's where Koy Jr. was the quarterback at Somerset. And yeah, it's very cool to see him get that chance at Kingsville. They have been real nicked up, but a good win last week over Western New Mexico. And yeah, you look at that District 36A race. It's PSJA at 5-0. It's PSJA North at 4-1, and then it's 4 teams fighting for 2 spots in Mission, La Jolla, McAllen Memorial, and Rowe. It's going to be a dogfight down to the end. And by the way, so they get they get the district front runner this week in PSJA. Next week it's La Jolla. And if things shake out the way that kind of it looks like they might, I mean, obviously if they go on the road and they beat PSJA, things will get significantly better for them. But we could be facing like a win and in type situation there in District 36A with 4 teams fighting for those 2 spots. So exciting times down there in Mission. It's been a while since they've been in the hunt like this. I know there's a lot of excitement down there, so we appreciate Coach Koy Detmer hopping on with us.